What is going on, everybody? Today we'll be talking about, or reacting to, sorry, the gradual decay of Killer, Dead by Daylight discussion. So let's get started.
Not the type of video I typically make. I know that's the standard line for any YouTuber who makes a more serious or negative video, but I'm genuinely worried for the health and survival of this game. I've had my eye.
As you should be. Very, very smart for this individual to really go down this route, right? Like, I just find it really concerning, right, for the IQ of people who are like, why are you being negative when you have every right to be negative? You know, it's like, I swear, like the IQ for not just DVD players, just in general, for people who don't want any negative news, you know, is gradually going down, like gradually going down. It's crazy, right?
Is on DVD since 2016 from a Vanoss Gaming video, but because I was 12, I of course did not have access to this game, for better or for worse. I then danced around this game for the coming years, watching video after video, having it recommended to me by friends, yet I never got into it because a close friend of mine said the game was horrible. So instead I played Overwatch on occasion and Warframe like it was my 9-to-5 job, until eventually something caught my eye. Chapter 28, End Transmission. The sci-fi chapter that, from what I could tell, looked like it was made for me. But I remained hesitant due to previous warnings. However, with Overwatch 2 being a hot pile of garbage that my
Well, here's the thing, though, right? That was your first mistake. Any like unique chapter for DBD being your cup of tea, you know? I still wholeheartedly believe that the quality of DBD dropped after Trickster, you know? After they really tried to, push out some fucking South Korea slop, you know, for those demographics to enjoy. It's like, I'm sorry, but Trickster is more so funny than scary, you know? He is. I mean, look, I don't mind seeing a movie about it, but having a whole chapter of that killer being in DVD is just ridiculous. You know, it really is. It's not. That's not a chapter like okay, because you should realize, right, that this is a horror game. People should be scared. You know, that's how it should be. People should be fucking scared. You know, not laughing their ass off because he said "fuck" in Korea or something. And no, I'm serious. When he gets hit by a pallet, that's actually what he says. He says something like "oh fuck" or something. It's pretty funny.
friends and I wanted to quit, and 7 years worth of burnout from Warframe, my friends who were DVD veterans wanted to return to it, hearing it was in a good state. So, not wanting to be left behind, I bought the game while it was on sale. What I was met with was a game that had me...
Same. I got the game when what is it? The Stranger Things chapter was getting out, you know? And then it came back, obviously, but when when the Stranger Things chapter got out, that's when I like I got the PC version. I was playing the mobile version like from the time it came out, bro. And I still believe that the mobile version is better, by the way. Even if it's canceled, it's still a fucking better experience than DVD in general. Because having no game is better than having DVD. I wholeheartedly believe in that. But like I kind of got the PC version when they had a sale of for the chapter because it was leaving, right? So they were like, "Oh, you get to have every character from the Stranger Things and DBD, the game, obviously, for like what was it, $12 maybe? I think even less than that. Yeah, it was probably less than that. But anyways, yeah. So good deal.
utterly enthralled with every singular facet of it. The lore, the artistry, the music, the unique gameplay, the freedom of choice, and most importantly, the seemingly endless skill ceiling. And just like that, I was hooked. I played Survivor and Customs with my friends regularly. I picked up Ghostface as my first ever killer due to my love of stealth in other games. But then it happened. Singularity's released to live. As predicted, the chapter was perfect for me. I fell even harder for DVD because of this chapter. In games, I typically go for the hardest characters that make me use my brain the most, especially if their effort gets little to no value, the juice not being worth the squeeze and all. Singularity fit everything I wanted in the character, not only in that gameplay, but in the design, the voice line.
Well, at first he was pretty rough. You know, he was really bad, especially on mobile, bro. You guys have not experienced pain until you have tried what's his name? Singularity on mobile. Okay? Seriously.
It's his personality, the lore. I fuck with Gabriel too, but his fits are so ass. It genuinely felt like he was a welcoming gift for me joining this game, like it was fate for me to finally play DBD after watching it from afar for so long. There's not a single character in any game that has fit me as well as old Singularity. You may notice that I said old Singularity there, but we'll get to that. The game felt really balanced back then. Sure, a few bad maps here and there for either side, a broken killer or two, dumbass perks that took 7 months to nerf, but I never could really say it was killer-sided or survivor-sided back then without it just being about a map or an insane killer setup with someone like Nurse. It felt great on both sides overall. A friend of mine used to praise me for making fun builds that fit really well with the killer I put it on. Perks that complemented their power and maybe some add-ons that take the build even further. It felt like I could use almost anything and win. In this endless sea of perks, add-ons,
I mean, yeah, I kind of felt that way too until you realize that like probably like 20 of those perks are usable in today's standard, right? Oh, but no, I saw this YouTuber over here. I saw this YouTuber over here like try this really niche build on a bunch of paid actors. Oh shit, did I say that aloud? Yeah, I mean, come on, guys, let's be honest. Those videos are either fake or because they have more experience in DBD, they were able to easily outplay them. You know, let's just be honest here. Or their MMR was stupidly low. That too.
And killers, almost everything felt viable. The sky was the limit. However, all good things must come to an end. In an attempt to make their game healthier by attacking mean strategies, they ended up not only taking away from some of the strategic depth of this game, but also taking away pressure options for the killer without any real compensation. In typical behavior fashion, nerfing the wrong parts of something, or nerfing the right thing in the completely wrong way, but more on that later. In 7.1, the Nicolas Cage update, they removed hook grabs, and in turn, removed a fun back and forth interaction from both the killer and survivors.
Yup, that was the biggest fucking mistake known to man. And then you thought that was the only nerf that they did? Oh no, I think he's gonna mention this too. But the whole stupid anti-camp mechanic, stupid as hell as well. There must have been the glue sniffers at behavior that really thought of that one, you know? Seriously.
So almost every unhook without a coordinated team effort would just be a trade instead. In 7.3, Alien's mid-chapter update, they added the anti-face camp feature to stop face camping altogether and make those videos actually play the character. A good change on paper, but did it really do all that much considering proxy camping was always the stronger option anyway? A really good fix for camping Bubba's clearly, as now instead of just staring at you for 2 minutes until you die, he instead just fucking kills you and you jump off hook.
Yup, true. I mean, they could have decisive too, by the way, but yeah, exactly. Which exactly, like, see, well, I think what he's getting at is that behavior is taking so many options away that they're limiting how you're playing the killer. Absolutely fucking true. And thus, survivors are limiting how they play survivor. It really is an endless cycle of shit. It is. Like, this is why behavior is a fucking incompetent, shitty company. They should not have access to DBD, bro. I swear, they need to sell the rights because they are fucking doing a horrible job at it. Absolutely.
Brilliant! As someone who's not a Bubba player, I cannot recommend a proper fix of that without nuking his base kit. But knowing you behavior, you probably already took Bubba out back upon hearing me even say that. In 7.5, the Alan Wake update, they had the anti-3 gen system, but instead of making it only affect the area control killers that were good at the style of play, or at the bare minimum making it so the system would only take place at lower gen counts to prevent planned 3 gens and fixing some maps to compensate while still making sure survivors get punished for 3 gen themselves, instead we punish every killer for the entire game for potentially playing too well with slowdown perks or normal gen kicks. But hey.
Exactly. Again, so you know, making even more perks more useless. Holy shit. Behavior, you're retarded.
At least no more gen tap contests, and killers now have a slightly stronger gen kick. In 7.6, the All Things Wicked chapter, they randomly decided to gut the Mangled status effect, making more of the interesting killer perks and add-ons have an even larger gap in power compared to gen slowdown perks and hurting some of the weaker killers. They tried to bullshit their way out of this one by saying it created a new layer of strategy, but in reality, any survivor who's comfortable with being injured is just gonna sit on gens even more until the timer runs out anyway. This gets even worse.
Yup, exactly. Exactly. This guy knows what he's talking about.
With the more updates I list going forward. In 8.0, the Dungeons & Dragons chapter, they nerfed 4 strong gen slowdown perks. While I don't technically have a problem with this, the game is very clearly still built around slowdown. I'm fine with nerfing direct regression perks, but why is Deadlock here? Why is Grim Embrace's duration getting nerfed when the issue with Grim Embrace was that it stacked a Dead Man's Switch? Which still works, by the way. Nerfing gen block-based slowdown perks just seems a bit silly in comparison to the perks to actively make survivors have to sit on gens longer rather than the healthy alternative of letting them do other actions and not have to worry about their gen regressing so they don't have to grip M1 longer. In 8.1, the Tomb Raider update, they giga-buffed a bunch of healing perks, the main one that really matters being Resurgence, as anyone would expect, followed up with 8.7, Steady Pulse. With the addition of my fellow trans girl, we got another strong healing perk. We knew—
Oh my god, my dude, you did not just say that.
Every anti-heal option, but make healing even stronger. Backtrack a little bit to 8.2, the Castlevania chapter, they also made hook time 70 seconds instead of 60 per hook, making camping even weaker, including proxy camping, in turn making survivors more incentivized to just sit on gens and wait for the time to where they'd absolutely have to get their teammate.
Exactly, and you gotta love how they nerfed all these perks, but they did not nerf the timing on generators, right? Which, you know, would encourage the killer to go to said generators, you know? It really would, because sometimes we don't even feel like there's a choice but to slug, but the proxy camp, or like to load our whole perk loadout with slowdowns. You know, it's ridiculous. It's really boring. It's a boring gameplay. So that's why I stopped playing it. It's so bad.
Now fast forward to update 9.0, the FNAF chapter. They changed the spawn logic, which was not exactly a problem, except for the fact that now it lacks the consistency it used to have. I could bring up gens flying more due to survivors doubling up more because of the spawn changes, but from a balance standpoint, it is less efficient to do that. However, it doesn't change that it psychologically feels like shit to see 2 gens pop in 30 seconds, which is the time you're meant to somehow find someone, and finish a chase without even accounting for maps, bad spawns, your killer of choice, and distance.
Yep, exactly. Like, I mean, how are they honestly going to nerf all these stuff, right? And then like, you're not even gonna give a killer like a base kit lethal, like lethal pursuer or something like that. Really, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna give the killer like any like any fun base kit things to work with. Oh my god, this game sucks.
From your hook or objective. Editing star here. I'm going to interrupt like 1 or 2 more times later in this video, but I forgot to mention that in the FNAF chapter, they also removed the one downside that Botany Knowledge had, so you can add that to the healing pile too. Update 9.1, The Walking Dead, was not too offensive towards Killer besides the absurd amount of bugs and an annoying item that has since been annihilated. However, they did buff bully squads and make them even more unfun for most players.
You can't make this up, bro. You can't. Oh my god. It's like they're trying to kill their game. They really are trying to kill their game, bro. Seriously. No, obviously they're not. Like if anything, this is probably gonna get more idiots to play the game to be a survivor and then get bored of it after 5 minutes. But the thing is that like they're appealing to the wrong people. You know, they are. It needs to be fun on both sides, and I always believe that. I'm not just, oh, make the killer side fun and the survivors need to suffer. No. I played both as well, okay? And if you ask me, both are horrible, you know? And like, what? Even if you have friends to play with, yeah, it could be fun to just fuck around, you know? But if you are one of these sad, pathetic bully squads or something like that, you know, the problem is that you know, you're gonna have a really boring gameplay loop. But these losers, like, they don't really care. You know, they're just here for the power high, which is funny because they're playing survivor role. But okay. The thing is that like, you know, they're appealing to the wrong people here. You know, they're only gonna have this stupid niche audience, and especially with them like losing chapter after chapter after chapter, I just feel like they're just gonna have a constant niche group of people. You know. They're never going to get the surge that they once had with Michael Myers, you know? Or maybe even Ghostface or like Stranger Things. They're never going to have that surge again because they just keep fucking up. You know, and like they just keep making the game less and less casual fun and more stupid try-hard bully squad slop. That's all they're making the game. And so it's like, what's even the point? You know? This is ridiculous. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna end the thing here. You know, I'm just gonna end the video here because yeah, he's just gonna go over more shit that just sucks, right? And yeah, we already know basically where this video is going. So yeah, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And yeah, this was Star Savior, 10 out of 10. Bye.